बाप के पोजीशन का तो ध्यान रखा जाता है नहीं। बाकी सारा दिन बाप का फोटो, चाहे मानसिक भी फोटो, घड़ी घड़ी फोटो फोटो फोटो, हाँ उनको थोड़े बैठ कर करके देखेंगे हाँ कौन सा बाप है, बाप का ऑक्यूपेशन क्या है, बाप की पोजीशन क्या है। मैं ऐसे बाप का बच्चा हूँ और ऐसे बाप के बच्चे का क्या फर्ज है और मुझे भी बाप को फॉलो करना है। बाप के खानदानी को, बाप के कुल को अथवा पोजीशन को कोई लग न जाए कुछ का, इसीलिए वो ख्याल रखेंगे कि हमारे कर्तव्य में कोई ऐसी बात न हो। हाँ, मेरा कर्तव्य अच्छा रहे। और अच्छा कर्तव्य भी कैसे अच्छा होता है उसका भी बाप ने बैठ कर करके समझाया है। तो ये सभी चीजें बुद्धि में रख कर करके अपने एक्शंस को ठीक रख कर करके चलना है। तो ये है बाप से याद अथवा बेहद बाप की हम संतान है जो बुद्धि में रखने का है। तो गीता में भी पहले पहले मन मना भाव का है, फिर बीच में का, फिर एंड में का है। हाँ, 3 बार है उसमें मन मना भाव का बैठ कर करके सुनाया है। तो आखिरी में भी, पहले में भी और मध्य में, बीच में भी ये वार्निंग दी है कि बच्चे बाप को याद रख। तो है मूल बात यही है और इसी से ही हमको बाप से बल मिलना है अपने पापों को, क्योंकि अभी तो पाप आत्मा है ना, तो उसको अभी स्वच्छ बनाना है। इसीलिए इसके याद की मदद लेनी है तो पापों को नाश कर करके, इसलिए कहते हैं अभी यहाँ इसी से ही तुमको बल मिलेगा, इससे ही तुम्हारे कर्म भी ऊंचे रहेंगे। यहाँ भी तुम कर्म ऊंचे का बल तुमको जो पाप का बोझा नाश होगा ना, तब अगर पाप का बोझा से करोगा तो फिर तुम्हारा यहाँ भी कर्म ने वो मैल चढ़ी हुई है, मैल उतरती जाए तो तुम्हारे को भी कर्म करने का वो आवे रोशनी। इसीलिए बाप कहते हैं याद करो और अपने कर्म को भी संभलते और स्वच्छ बनाते चलो। तो ये तो मुख्य बातें बुद्धि में अच्छी तरह से रख लेने की है।
Om Shanti. Be full with the feeling of uplifting others and have mercy on those who defame you. The awareness of the One. When souls, because of their nature or sanskars, come to test you, then in a second, with the awareness of the One, use your elevated sanskars. Use the sanskars and nature that you have imbibed of being merciful for such souls. This is what it means to uplift them. Now, Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today's day 8. Be full with the feeling of uplifting others and have mercy on those who defame you. Today's topic, the awareness of the One. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. पीस विलेज से हम लोग अव्यक्ति भवन में पहुंच गए हैं. Yeah. So we have returned from Peace Village, having good time there. It's a different world, right? It was very pleasant weather. Nature was beautiful. New York is a bit hot today. So Baba is saying that one of the, either you call it remedy or you can call it strength, one of the most important practices, just remember Baba. It was yesterday or day before. Day 2 in the morning, there was a kind of march. We went out. It was quite hot, very strong sun. But in few moments, very, very lovely, cool breeze started. Because when the angels are in the nature, nature also knows what to do. So everyone was so happy and everyone started dancing. If it was no breeze, I don't think it could have happened. These days, Baba had been saying a lot about purifying the elements. Right? Everything, whether it is transformation in the self, our thinking, or whether it is helping others to transform. One of the method is remembrance, remembrance. And unless we do it, we won't know what it does. One of the most important thing it does is that you are not in any wasteful thoughts of anyone's nature or sanskars. You can be very detached and say, but that's the part of that soul. If there is anything you see is not very pleasant, then have mercy. Because that is one of the most important quality for uplifting. And when you have mercy, then you don't have any hatred or jealousy or envy, Because sometimes one's own past sanskars can emerge. But Baba is saying that if you are in remembrance, elevated sanskars will emerge, not ordinary sanskars will emerge. That means within the soul, there are all types of sanskars. Many people ask that sanskars remain in the soul or they are removed, what happens to them? It's just like there is a recording. Wherever you put the needle, it will start playing that song. So same as soul has this record. But what I need to play at confluence is to have elevated thoughts. Let elevated sanskars emerge. Because when you allow that to emerge, then actually you are also creating elevated sanskars. So it's very, very interesting to see how remembrance works. Anytime something happens, not happens, fulfilled, not fulfilled, don't feel sad nor feel bad. Just remember Baba. So it's not you're trying to avoid, neglect, or self-denial, no. Remembrance is accurate, accurate thing will happen. Something elevated will help. Solutions will come. Transformation will happen. And the sanskars which are obstacle will also change. As I said, there are hundreds of benefits. Depends on how much you do, how many times you do. I had been trying this for many months now. Why to be in any other feelings? Let me remember Baba. Baba is the one who is Karan Karavanar. I am instrument of Baba. Baba has to use me. Any way, your attainments from Baba, points of knowledge from Baba, because remembrance can be in any form. Internally, you will become quiet, you could be in silence, you will feel happy. So that's what today, for tomorrow, our homework is. When souls, because of their nature or sanskars, come to test you, then in a second, these things come to test us, right? No, Baba call it paper tiger, they come, but they don't have power. Then in a second, with the awareness of the one, use your elevated sanskars. Use the sanskars and nature that you have imbibed, and that is of being merciful. Because maybe that soul doesn't want that way. But again, the sanskars, right? So you have to be merciful for such soul. And this is what it means to uplift the souls. Now listening, yes, it's very easy. It's very simple, right? But take homework and do it as often as you can. Anything feel difficult, remember Baba and see how it changes and it becomes easy. I remember once I went to a country in South America. It's a small country. So they were very they said today is the hottest day of the year. And Sister Mohini is coming, what we will do. And in those countries, they don't have facilities like we have in this Western world of central cooling, heating, all that. But we were halfway reaching center, start raining. Schooled. By the time in the evening public program, it was very pleasant. One place in Brazil we went was such a big storm. Lot of rain. And they had booked a very big hall, I think 3,000 something. So they were like, what will happen? What will happen to program? I never think that way because I always say Baba's program. Whatever will happen will be best. 1 hour before rain stopped, everything got dried and hall was full. So we have to, in any situation which is adverse than what it should be, just remember Baba, stay quiet, let's see drama. So I jokingly tell them, it's all right, we will have parties, holiday today, no lecture, no distribution of toli. But internally I know everything will happen. And it does. So someone said, oh, so much money is spent. I said, whose money? You gave to Baba, Baba's Bandara. It is from Baba's Bandara. So how can Baba's money go waste? Your can go waste, but not Baba's. So always this elevated thoughts at time of adverse situation, remembrance of Baba. Really, really magic happens. So that's what we will do tomorrow for our practice. Om Shanti.
Hello, Didi. Good evening. And family too. Yeah, I agree with you. The magic of Baba's remembrance. You know, I know you're just coming from Peace Village. There was someone who was going to Peace Village, and she's only been in Guyana a year and a half. And this is her 4th time to Peace Village. This will soon be her 2nd time to Madhaban. So I was asking her, why are you going to Peace Village again? And she said she wanted to spend time with Didi. That seeing almost like as if what the daddies were for a younger generation, you have become for this generation. So she wanted to be close, even though she may be on Avyakti Parivar every night, but just that difference in being close. And last night I was appreciating how the young ones, in their own voices, we didn't actually see them, but in their own voices, we sometimes hear their voices in other ways, but that they were asking questions, and they were profound, they were so sincere, and it really was a different kind of listening. And so I do hope that generation is more prominent in being able to ask you questions. It was so very lovely. I really appreciated it. Taking a quick jump to something you were saying just a few minutes ago, and this analogy, which I like very much, of the record player, and that, or like a tape, and that whatever's on the tape can be erased by recording something on top of it. And so I'm wondering about purification. Is there, what are the mechanics of purification? Is it the father? Is it the teacher? Is it the Satguru? Who purifies? Or is it just that Baba's energy and power enables us to record new sanskars, or on that record or tape? What is it? How does purification actually work? Who does it?
Baba is ever pure, and because he's ever pure, he is purified, right? So it is all with all of us also. Just I remember when I met Baba, Brahma Baba, first time, I felt so clean, as if my every negativity or whatever is there has been removed because of the touch with ever purifier Baba. So I think any virtue or any power is something which bestows, it transforms, it gives. Like if you have patience, and it can do wonders at the right time, right? So purity is also one of the quality. Purity is one of course, we use the word energy, but it is in purity. When there is purity, then, so it's the presence, it's the contact, it's the thought, whatever it is, it's the purity. Purity of the soul, purity of Baba, which purifies, I call Baba also a pure fire, So I said that it's like a fire. So anything you put in the fire, it changes its shape, removes the alloy, and it does whatever is needed. So the purity also is like a fire. So I think that our impurity is completely burned into that fire. And each one of us, I think even otherwise, we all feel so pure, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was appreciating this yesterday in meditation, this experience of subtlety in the meditation. Other people don't have that. Very few people in the world, sometimes maybe even Brahmins, but it's such a gift from Baba to be able to transcend this and have that experience. And it led me to think about what it's going to be like in the golden age. I think in meditation you get a little taste of it, but that matter won't be quite the same as it is now. And I was asking the class how they thought bodies would be, and so some said fragrant, full of light. That the body, I think, will be so light, not in terms of a lack of weight, but like Baba talks about the materials in the golden age, they're so refined. I think the bodies will be like that too. What is your experience?
As much there is purity, there is light and lightness. Because with Brahma Baba, even whatever his age was, he was very, very beautiful. His skin was very good, and his eyes, everything was like, and that's purity, it's because of the purity, the elements also.
Yeah.
Right there. Or even Prakashmani Dadi, she was like flying all the time, you could feel.
Yeah.
Same with Dadi Janki. I think as much we become pure, elements help us. So body also is very, very light.
Yeah.
Mama was quite short and quite heavy, but she used to walk and work and do things really like an angel. So, but this subtlety experience, in a Vyakti Parivar, they created to do a drill of 5 forms. So they put Lakshmi Narayan, whatever 5 forms are there. And so it was so powerful in the sense of it just made us aware. We felt so subtle. Many, those who were leaving, they were sharing their experience of for half an hour, 40 minutes. Some won't even get up. Meditation was over. I went in the end, but I could feel also very, very subtle energy. Because when it's grossness, you come down. And when it's subtle, you feel like you're going up and up.
Yeah, exactly.
I was telling them that in every retreat, there should be something which people take it as an experience. Entertainment is necessary, understanding is necessary, but to experience is also very important.
Yeah.
So, it's very subtle, very
powerful. What you're saying, and I think that in the golden age, it's almost like as if, well, I presume the law of gravity still works if it is a law in the first place, but that it will be different. As you say, like, in other words, that because we are so light and pure, that it will almost be like as if we're floating rather than walking. There'll be no heaviness on our steps, that you won't damage any grass or plants or anything else. And I was wondering if maybe this is, we talk about the angel, which is now, but there's another thing that comes up. It comes up in I guess in Indian mythology as well. Fairies, the idea of the fairy. I think you call it pari, no? That would be different from an angel, right? And
Pari,
so yeah.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's
it is pari.
Yeah, a fairy. That it's like it's almost like like a butterfly or something, in terms of, because the elements also will just be in the same way that you were mentioning, that they were all inspired to dance. It was like nature came in and helped. So I think there too that there will be such an interplay between the elements and the body that you're in. It will almost be like that you're floating. You won't be floating in the strict sense, but it will feel like that. There'll be such lightness. Sometimes it's very intoxicating for me to think about it, to experience it.
Yeah. It's really what you're saying, the change in the element.
Yes.
Definitely brings all these experiences.
Right. They won't be the same as they are. We can only think, Baba mentioned, I don't remember, maybe it was more last Thursday, about the 3 different kinds of intellect. And there was like the ultimately the divine intellect, the godly intellect, and the divine intellect, and the human intellect. And so mostly we're looking at things with a combination of human and godly intellect. But I think that divine intellect, will be something very, very different. It's not always so easy to see with the human intellect, or there's the influence of the godly intellect, but to be in that experience of when you have the divine intellect, yeah. So so again, back to that thing of the purification, that, and on the one hand, you're saying that there's a burning, and so I'm also working to lay new sanskars, but at the same time, there are the original sanskars. So is it just that, when we're in front of Baba and that purity, it touches that in us, it touches our innocence and our love. So is it that I'm overlaying, or is it that I'm re-emerging?
I would say re-emerging,
Re-emerging, okay.
Like I say,
yeah.
inheritance, we are reclaiming inheritance,
That's
So everything is in the sense again happening.
right.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like this.
what is called repetition.
Yeah.
Some people see repetition in a very, very gross way, but if we see it in an elevated way, then it's different.
Yeah. You sometimes you have in these old churches and one thing and another, that they start scraping off the layers of paint, and then they come to these amazing frescoes of hundreds of years ago with natural paints and what have you, but they'd been covered over by many generations of paint. And I suppose the soul's a little bit like that too, that you're stripping off those layers. So then in connection with this yesterday too, where Baba was talking about attitude, and the feeling that attitude is like some kind of an awareness that we carried for a long time, that became an attitude, and that attitude has shaped our personal world, right? And then he talked about the thing I'd like you to connect it with. He spoke about the mind as the advisor. You're supposed to be the king, but that the mind is the advisor. So the connection between the mind being the advisor and the attitude. Attitude, I think, is a very deep thing and a very serious thing, but we don't always recognize that we have what kind of an attitude we have and how we can change it.
When any person comes in front of us, there is a different attitude in the sense, and which is very subtle, which you can see while talking, while sharing anything. And it's very powerful though, in the sense of that person will come to know that attitude, that this one is holding some attitude for me. And so that is why we have to be in soul consciousness, look at everyone as a soul, so that even if there is attitude, it doesn't interplay. That means it doesn't come in any visible into our drishti or visible into our action. And because then what will happen, that it will become stronger and stronger. So if really try to notice, if I am noticing, which I think we do, even it's very subtle, we immediately know, because whatever I've heard or I felt or whatever has become part of that attitude or awareness. So I think we all have to be attentive so that it doesn't repeat, it doesn't become like a very permanent kind of thing. As soon as you notice it, try to look at that one as a soul and a pure person, peaceful, so that attitude is removed at that time. And then I think I have worked on that, and I find you can remove it, you can change it, and form a very positive attitude for everyone.
Yeah, because again, you can have a good attitude, you can have a friendly attitude, or you can have an attitude that's combative, that's full of grievances and what have you. So I don't know if it's too general to assume that if the attitude is not good, that it's fear-based, that it comes from some kind of fear. And then the thing is, that combative thing emerges. And then for the one that's in front of it, they then could become afraid and try to protect themselves. And so how to, interact in such a way that you're removing some of the fear that the other person has, that you're not.
Yeah, it could be fear, but also it depends on your dislike, certain people's habits you don't like it, certain manners you don't like it, and you form that as an attitude. Attitude could be like fragrance, and it could be like, oh, this person is like that. And Dadi Janki always used to say, don't say that, because you are not blessing anyone.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
You always say something, even knowing that is what upliftment is, knowing the sanskars of that person or habit of that person. But somewhere when you keep positive, elevated attitude, you see things, changes happen in that person. That's what I have noticed. And because you are attentive, you are careful, you're not doing anything based on attitude, you just keep good wishes, feelings of upliftment, and you see the change which comes in that person. And we have to use that more and more now.
Is it that in many instances, because I don't realize that I have an attitude, therefore I can't possibly know what it's doing to you. So what can help me? Should I look at others for signs that show me that my attitude is not a good one, or that they're afraid of me, or they're
it's good to start looking then the good qualities of the person, because then your attitude towards whatever is missing in that person will change. So look at that, okay, if this person is not punctual, but maybe something else, So find some of the specialties and good qualities within the person, and that helps to change attitude.
Yeah. I was going to ask you at the beginning, it's a strange thing, but because somehow praise and defamation came up. And I've mentioned before how I have seen how stable you, Daddy Janky, when there are situations, it's hard to imagine that anybody could defame, but they do, and how you all manage that. Now I'm going to ask you about how to deal with praise, because you are praised a lot, Didi. Everybody that comes on will say some praise, and all of these praises, no question, you are deserving of, and people appreciate the fact that they're even able to say that not just that they say it, but they see it. And so, first of all, how you manage praise, and secondly, should we be a little bit focused on praising others? I don't mean in a manipulative way, but maybe we just take, they're doing it for Baba, or, it doesn't matter, whatever. Should we give a little more attention to praising people a bit more?
Whenever I hear praise, I kind of underline it, and that is that this is what I should be, because that's what others are experiencing. So always, like, I underline it and I say, yes, what they're saying, this percentage is right, or this is a little more. And so I take it in the sense of not as a praise, but whatever they say, I look at as that they are appreciating or they are receiving something, and I must continue to do that.
There's a responsibility with it.
Every time you hear something, you say, but that's what you have to be all the time, all the time.
Right.
So this is how I take it. I think it's not praise, but appreciation should be there. Sometimes people do so much, we don't appreciate.
Yes.
And I feel it is important to encourage them, to increase their interest, to increase their enthusiasm. Always appreciate, oh, you have changed a lot and you had been doing so much. It's not a praise. Definitely, it's appreciation. And I think it definitely helps the soul. Anyone you appreciate, acknowledge and appreciate. This is what I believe.
Okay, that's a nice note to end on.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Om Shanti, Didi.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Didi. Thank you, Vodiben. We had a wonderful weekend last weekend at the Avyakti Parivar retreat. And also, again, we have another opportunity to be in Peace Village. We have International Couples Retreat coming up. So if you would like to join for that retreat, it would be nice, wonderful. So please make a note. It will be from arrival July 18th and departure July 21st. The return of Baba's love, trustworthy. So it's International BK Couples Retreat. It's for BKs. It's not for public. It's for BKs. So, of course, children and young adults are included. So please do register as soon as possible. The registration might close. So please, if you are thinking to come and join the couples retreat, please do register. There is a registration link in the bottom. You can scan it or you can take a photo. And Mohini Didi will be joining in this couples retreat. So once again, we will have another opportunity. So tomorrow is Tuesday and our schedule from morning Amritwela 3:30 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. English Avik Muli revision 5 to 6 p.m. Together with that, in a breakout room, 5 to 5:15, Avikti Children Muli class, 6 o'clock, Patti will start, followed by Hindi series and English series. Now, let's remember Baba. We'll take Drishti from Didi. Make sure everyone's videos are on so Didi can see everyone.
तेरी याद में
Om Shanti. Om Shanti.